Should we listen to podcasts? If so, which one? Should we be reading blogs? If so, which ones? Should we be checking out the very latest business book about how some person got 1 million followers? Maybe there's another way. Let's take a look at this on The Best. Time for some criticism to come my way. I am very old school. Why? Because old school is better than new school. Why? Because it's more proven. Why? Because it's more time served. It's been tested. It's been attacked. This might not work for you. Okay? I'm not suggesting that you have to do this. I'm suggesting that this series is all about the best ways I've found to achieve certain things. Now, to increase my knowledge and my credibility as an authority in my subject, experience is the best teacher by far. The more I get out amongst practices, the more I speak to people in practice, the more I get involved in the profession, clearly that is the best. What's the next best way for me to create my own content, my own knowledge, or even my own doctrine? Well, that is to read good books, because every year we are swamped with thousands, literally thousands, of business books. All of them best-selling, you'll notice. Every single one's best-selling. How is that possible? If they're all best-selling, how are any of them best-selling? So maybe they're 428th best-selling, I don't know. But everyone's best-selling? Not sure. Okay. Sometimes they're New York Times best-selling. Now, I believe you can buy that title, I don't know. But the point is, how can we tell what's good and what's not? And you find certain things endure. A very good friend of mine has got a saying that all of her deals have got to be win-win or no deal. Meaning it's got to be good for her, it's got to be good for the other person, and if it's unbalanced in either way, there's no deal. We don't try and rip the person off, they don't try and rip us off, it doesn't go ahead. Win-win or no deal. And I think that phrase, if I remember correctly, came from The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey, a book written in, I think, somewhere around 1985-ish. And that has endured. That is still on the bookshelves today. Another one might be Managing the Professional Services Firm by David Maister, which has endured throughout 3 or 4 different generations of professionals now. And there are so many others. Firm of the Future by Ron Baker and Paul Dunn was written in something around 2003. And the prophecies contained in that book are coming true today. It's as relevant now as it was when it was written. So there's just 3 examples, and there are many, many more. I think the very first ever noted example in literature of accountants being in error to base their future on compliance work alone was actually McKinsey in the 1930s, could you believe? So you get to choose your books, but you'll see there's certain classics, whether it's Good to Great by Jim Collins, or whether it's Value Pricing by Alan Weiss, or whatever it happens to be. Okay? There are good books to be read every single year. Could you have the discipline to read the same 5 or 6 books every single year? And why would you? Because the proven wisdom in those particular ones, and there's plenty of others beyond the ones I've mentioned, are the ones that teach you every single year. You don't learn everything on the first read. You don't learn everything on the 18th. That's why they're classics. They provide an absolute treasure trove of information for you if you will study them rather than just read them. So what's the best way to become an authority, an expert, a guru, an influencer in this world? Well, it's to get experience. It's to have lived the life. It's to have walked the talk. It's to be proven in track record for years and years and years and years. Beyond that, read good books, the very best books, the very same books, year in, year out. That's the best. If you want some help on getting started in that, please click the link below and I'll give you some recommendations for free. Until then, see you next time.